Hey guys, it's Dan or aDrive here, giving you guys a breakdown of the Trifernal starter deck, available right now as a prototype pre-order on my website, shop.elestrals.com. This is a unique opportunity to play the game before it comes out in Kickstarter, and it'll be a pretty long time before the cards actually end up in people's hands from the Kickstarter. So this is a great opportunity to get some cards, play the game, provide some feedback in our Discord server at discord.gg/elestrals. And I think you guys are gonna have a blast. I think this Trifernal deck is probably one of the better ones. It's very aggro, and I think if you're someone who likes to play aggressively, this is a deck that I think you're gonna enjoy. It's very offensive. A couple things to note: make sure you tell your friends about this, and if you want to check out some of the other deck profiles, I'll have them on the website or right here on YouTube, and of course you can check out the how to play guide first, obviously. And the quality of these prototype decks is awesome, but the final print will be better. I just telling people that because it's important to know. We have like really nice card quality for the final prints, but these are obviously prototypes so we can play the game. So let's do it. So let's talk about it. Necro, very strong. It's a 1 cost, fire, 5/1. 5 is pretty much the highest you'll get out of a 1 cost, and you're forcing your opponent to expend if you destroy. Early game Necro is pretty much one of the strongest cards in the game, just because you're forcing your opponent those resources very early on. Blazerus is a 7/2. It's very good in the sense that once you get on the field, it can start to mow things down. It can attack twice. If you successfully attack twice and destroy 2 Elestrals in 1 combat, you actually get Trifernal on that turn in the end phase. So very good. And as you probably know, Trifernal, one of the strongest cards in the game. No doubt about it. 14/3. You target opponent's Elestrals. If their defense falls to 0, they get destroyed. That's going to destroy most things. It's very susceptible to runes, but Trifernal itself is very good. It's incredibly oppressive, and it has a lot of control elements to it. Warmite, another kind of control type Elestral that allows you to drop the attack of your opponent until the end phase. And then Fluoracne, you actually get 3 Warmites, which is going to kind of thwart off those bigger foes. Fluoracne is probably one of my favorite cards in the game. Fluoracne basically provides what's called Summoning Sickness. So if you're facing a non-fire Elestral deck, then things cannot attack the turn they're enchanted. So being able to stop enchantments like that is just very strong. Kinleo is going to be your primary Nexus Elestral, and that's going to allow you to destroy an Elestral on the field if you Nexus. Very good, and I think Fire takes advantage of that exceptionally well because of its use of artifacts. Leonite is much like Arsonicore of the game, but it actually is immune to Invoke runes, which I think in the playtest phase we're going to see that Leonite is one of the stronger cards. Volcaris, I think this thing is going to be one of the best beaters in Elestrals, being able to gain an attack for every enchanting fire on the field. If you have Volcaris on the field and you have, let's say, Hephaestus enchanted with 3, he's automatically getting to 4 plus 3. He's already a 7 right away with Hephaestus. So a 7/1 summon is very good. There's no doubt about it. Cinder allows you to discard off your opponent's top of your deck. Probably one of the weaker cards, but obviously Mill will be a strategy at some point in Elestrals. Clovey provides you with a little bit of draw power, which the deck kind of lacks otherwise. And then Sprouter is essential in allowing you to get those artifacts as fast as possible, as Hephaestus really wants you to have those artifacts on the field. Astrabbit also gives you a little bit of draw power, and then you have Jolton, which is going to get you that stadium a little quicker, because again, things like Volcaris really appreciate having as much fire on the field, as many 5 pyros on the field as possible. Nectar of the Gods, your standard drawing, and then Hammer of Hephaestus, which is actually going to essentially give you +1 attack for every enchanted rune on the field. So the more hammers you have, the more volcanic forges you have, the more Hephaestus you have, the more your rune section is filled up, all of these spots on the board are filled, the more Hammer of Hephaestus is going to give you bonuses. And I think that alone makes this aggro deck just so incredibly strong. Circle of the Sky is your standard Nexus card, allowing you to move your spirits around and get Trifernal out a little easier. And then the Volcanic Forge, much like all the Stadium runes, gives you a +1 for every enchanting fire. So again, very good with things like Volcaris. Pandora's Box is a nice counter that allows us to stop some searching. You got a couple of those. Ambrosia gives you a bit of life recovery, grabbing spirits out of your spirit deck. Gorgon's Gaze, I think this could be one of the stronger cards. You basically shut down an Elestral as a counter rune. So if they try to activate an effect or anything like that, you kind of stop them in their tracks and really stop your opponent's strategy for that turn. And then I mentioned this in all the other videos. The Hephaestus art is done. It's just when I had this particular one printed, it wasn't. But your starter decks will have the actual Hephaestus card here. Hephaestus being a divine rune that allows you actually to search your deck for artifacts. It's so good. Eruption gives you a little bit of direct damage. Earthquake, a little bit of kind of field management, being able to destroy an Elestral. And then you've got your spirits. You've got all your Vipyros, obviously, at the core of the fire deck. And then you're going to move to a couple Terratlas to run those Clovies and a couple things like that. And then you've just got 2 Zaptors, which will allow you to kind of activate some of the other effects that you have, primarily from the Astrabbits and the Joltons. So that is your very, very aggro Fire Trifernal starter deck. I have a feeling that this one is going to be a top one. Head over to shopelestrals.com. Remember, there's only 72 hours to pre-order these starter decks, so pick some up so you can play with your friends. Join our Discord server, and feel free to check out the How to Play guide and all the other starter deck breakdowns in the description below. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on Trifernal starter deck in the comments. I'll see you soon.